What's going on, guys? It is Kevin with Optimize Essentials, and today I'm going to teach you the best movement or best exercise you can do if you have scoliosis, right? A lot of people get afraid of scoliosis, but I'm going to explain to you what scoliosis is and the best thing you can do for it. And I'm doing it right now. It is the Asian squat, right? A lot of people can't get into this position. I'll explain why later and what you can potentially do. But let's talk a little bit about scoliosis, all right? So scoliosis is the curvature of the spine, right? It could curve in many directions. So instead of going over the different combinations, just know that abnormal or excessive curvature, I forgot how many degrees it was, but if you have, I'll probably put it on the screen, but if you have more than a certain amount of curvature in your spine, you will be considered someone who has a scoliotic curvature of the spine, right? I personally believe, because we're asymmetrical human beings, that most people have scoliosis, and I'm pretty sure that's a fact, because just by nature we can't exactly have a neutral spine, especially with all of the demands that we have in today's society. Having a neutral spine is very difficult to achieve, or a perfect straight spine and whatnot. There's natural curves in the lordotic, right? Lordotic and kyphotic curvatures. But anymore, when it curves laterally or to the sides, that's when it becomes scoliosis, right? Now, scoliosis is either idiopathic, meaning people don't know how it occurred, structural or congenital, meaning it was something you were born with, structurally, meaning you were born with something where your spine just curved to one side or the other, whichever way it goes, or it is functional, which in my opinion is pretty often, right? Most often it's functional, meaning it's created either by old ankle sprains. You have one leg shorter than the other, right? An ankle sprain causing leg length discrepancy. You have one leg that pronates more, flattens more, and because of that your pelvis elevates, and because of that you have curvature up the spine. So there are many different factors when it comes to functional. You could be sitting in a certain way, excessively driving in a certain way, using that foot, always tapping, playing sports, twerking your body to a certain motion or to the other. That will cause scoliosis, right? So what is the best thing you can do for scoliosis? I'm doing it right now. It is the Asian squat. Now there's a key, you have to understand there's a key to doing this correctly and effectively or properly, so make sure you watch it all the way to the end, because if you just do this, you won't get the most bang for your buck. So you want to make sure you watch the video to the end, okay? So I'm going to explain to you why the Asian squat is good for scoliosis and maybe one of the best exercises you can do. Because in this position, what I'm doing is I'm allowing my body to elongate. I'm allowing my spine to elongate. You can't really see it here, but if I go to the sides, I'm squatting like this, and it's opening up the vertebraes in my spine. Now, the very first thing you want to understand is if you can't do this exercise, chances are you have very tight ankles, or poor ankle mobility, you have really tight calves, or really tight hip flexors. And if you have really lengthy, bony legs, chances are it's going to be very hard for you to get in this position. And if you can't get in this position, make sure you address those muscle imbalances by getting my Posture 101 program, guys. It is the most basic foundational stretches and stretching routine and this postural assessment that you can do on yourself to address your muscle imbalances so that you can get in this position. But if you don't want to buy it, that's fine. Look up some mobility routines on YouTube. They're free, good ones too. But if you want something from me and you want to help me out, get my program. But anyways, assuming that you can get into the position, this is what you're going to do, all right? You're going to spend your time first by opening up your hips. So what I like to do is I like to take my hands, I like to clasp them like I'm praying, and then I push my hips open like that. And then in this position, I wiggle around, I let my head drop down, so now I'm elongating my cervical spine too. So I'm opening up my cervical spine like this, and I'm just rocking around, right? I'm moving side to side, so I'm opening up my hips, and then wiggling my body into its natural position. So from the side, this is what it looks like when I'm doing this. I hope you can see what's going on with my spine, right? I'm literally pulling my spine from the top of my vertebra to the bottom of my tailbone, right? I'm opening it up, and if you want, you can give it a little tweak. You can push down and do the same thing, or you can grab something heavy, put your hands underneath it, let it pull you down, and then open up your back even more. And now a lot of people ask, oh, if you have a round back, isn't this bad if you do it like this? Not exactly, because certain vertebrae get compressed when you have a round back, but when you're doing it this way, you're elongating all of the vertebrae in your spine, and you can really open up your back and open up your spine and just pull it straight. And I like to stay in this position for a few minutes. I've been sitting here since the start of the video. It's about 5 minutes long, so I just chill here until I feel like I'm all opened up, and then from this position I start to rotate. So I'm going to teach you now how to rotate your spine. So from here, I inhale, I rotate up, and then exhale. Inhale, rotate all the way up, exhale. As you're rotating, you'll notice that one side is generally tighter than the other, right? You want to pay a little bit more attention to the side that's more difficult. For me, when I'm rotating to the left, I feel a little kink, so I'm just going to breathe at the top of the range of motion, and then I might even take my hand, push up, and lift the side of my, I guess, obliques. I lift that up a little bit more so I can create more space in that section, and then inhale. I do this about 10 times. You're welcome to do it more, but the idea is to allow elongation and rotation in your spine, because when you have scoliosis looks kind of like that or like that, depending on where your spine curves. But what you're doing when you're doing the Asian squat is you're straightening that spine out, and then now you're rotating it in that position. So you're teaching your body how to rotate and elongate, or your spine. You're teaching your spine how to do that when you have scoliosis. And then now, once you've done that enough, it's time to strengthen your elongation, because what would change if you didn't strengthen it? If you just did this, and I mean, it will definitely help if you have really poor posture, but now you want to teach your body how to get strong in that elongated position, right? But I almost got ahead of myself. There's more you can do in this position, all right? So you went from elongating here, now you want to try to get your spine as straight as you can, all right? So what I like to do is I like to chin tuck, and I try to straighten everything out from literally tailbone to upper back. So I'm trying to prop myself upright, and I'm trying to tuck my chin like this, all right? So from here, you look round. This is the beginning phase when you're pulling yourself, opening up your spine, and then eventually you progress to a very straight, neutral spine, and you do a few chin tucks, like a chicken. Cock, cock, cock. Cock, cock. And then once you've done this enough times, and you feel like your spine is straight, now you want to progress into the toes, all right? So literally I went from here and I got onto my toes. Now a lot of people are going to feel a little pressure on their ankles. That's why I try to get barefoot, vibrams at 5 fingers. I try to get as into my feet as much as possible so I can mitigate all that. I think a lot of imbalances, a lot of issues that we experience with our musculoskeletal system comes because we're wearing shoes our whole life that squeeze our feet together and make our feet weak, and because of that we have a bunch of issues. But basically what I just did was go from here, so Asian squat, I lifted up on my toes, pointed my heels together, and got up in this position. So from this position, my spine is still straight, right? At least as straight as it can be. So from the side, this is what you do. What I have here is a little rope so that I can strengthen my body in this position. I'm doing a Y raise, right? If you don't have a rope, just take your hands, take your thumbs, make a Y position. So here's your crotch, right? Your crotch is in front of you like a big V, and from here, just keep it in front of your crotch, make a Y, and pull your shoulder blades together. What you're doing is you're strengthening your upward rotators. If you have round back, right now your spine is straight and you're kind of in thoracic extension, all right? So what I'm doing here is I'm straight and I'm encouraging thoracic extension. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm stretching my spine out, I'm rotating it. Now I'm allowing my body to get into that thoracic extension, and I'm strengthening my rounded shoulders into a thoracically extended position. So that's why I have this rope. I take it and I bang out about 10 to 15 of these, and then if I want to progress it even more, I'll go behind my back, all right? Breathe in. I'm teaching my body this range of motion, and I'm teaching it how to be strong and straight and, you know, non-scoliotic. Now, guys, can you fix your scoliosis 100%? Probably not, but it doesn't stop you from trying, guys. I personally got x-rayed, and apparently I have a levo scoliosis, and I believe what has happened in the past was because I had two old ankle injuries or ankle sprains when I was very young. As a result, my left foot pronates more, and it causes my right pelvis to shift up, and then it caused that crunch on the right side. So now I have a levoscoliosis. But I do all of these stretches, all of these mobility workouts that I'm showing you almost every day, and I've mitigated a lot of my pain and tension in my body. But yes, this is how you can improve your scoliosis. Let me know how it goes. Definitely try out the strengthening method, because you're going to strengthen your body in that position. And there's so many more things you can do if you want to improve your posture, improve your scoliosis. That's why you want to check out my program. I'll be definitely releasing more information, free information, so that you guys can, improve your posture. So stay subscribed and share this video if you liked it. Like it if you liked it. Comment if you want to help start a discussion. But yeah, doing all that will help boost the video, get my video out to more people, help more people. Yeah, guys, please do that. So yes, like, comment, subscribe. It's Kevin, and I am out.